Shamita, firstly, I just wanted to congratulate you on the success of Black Widows.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, in the series, you play a lady who breaks free from her abusive husband by murdering him. And of course, as we know, domestic violence is a very rampant and very serious issue within our society. In fact, during lockdown, there have been an increased amount of cases as well that have
Yes.
emerged of domestic violence. So, how much more responsibility is there on you as an actor to make sure you kind of deliver this part with sensitivity, as well as kind of making sure you don't glorify or romanticize the idea of homicide?
Wow, I never thought about it that way. But this is a very sensitive issue, and it was handled or rather treated that way. And I loved the way things were put in the film. I loved, yes, at the end of the day, these three women go to extremes and they kill their husbands, and that's not something we're encouraging
Mm,
out there. But it's not. Yes, it does have a background of domestic abuse, but there's a lot of other stuff as well happening in the film. There's also a thriller element, there's comedy, um and everything together I think works really well. Everything put together works really well. But luckily, from what I've understood, luckily in this film, these three women had a very strong friendship, which helped them do what was best for themselves.
mm,
Um, to all those women out there who are going through, domestic abuse, in difficult marriages, I just, I would just tell them to, talk about it, seek help.
mm,
And, that would probably give them the strength to do what is right for them, take them to the next step. Luckily,
yeah.
these three women in the film had each other.
Mm,
God knows what each one would have done individually if they were alone. But it definitely helps to have someone out there to hear you out, and share that pain with. Let me put it that way.
right. Yes, and I think it is important as well because interestingly, we also had, I mean, obviously, we had this on ZEE5, and we also had Criminal Justice in Hotstar, which also addresses a similar issue as well, and the sort of lengths that women go to sort of put up with such abuse and to break free from it. So I think it's very important to hear such stories as well. You know.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I just wanted to say that, I think we're living in a time where the audience is a lot more accepting of stories like these that are real. This probably is not something that you would see as often before. Now
Mm,
we're actually talking about stuff that is an issue, a problem in the society we live in.
yeah.
So I think because of the changing times as well, people are able to tell these kind of stories now.
Yes. And I also wanted to congratulate you as well on completing 20 years within the industry as well this year. I think it's quite special
Thank
uh,
you.
for you and Abhishek, actually, because
Thank you.
you both have kind of completed 20 years. In fact, I wanted to kind of ask, when you were kind of setting out to be an actor, I mean, what were your expectations then? And do you feel those expectations as an actor have kind of been fulfilled?
Um, well, when I started off, I don't think I'm being honest. I don't think I was as serious about making it big in the industry, because I was literally somebody who thought I didn't want to become an actor when I was a child. I didn't yearn to be an actress. Let me just put it that way. Um, I thought I would join my father's business. So I went ahead and I studied commerce. From there, I got my diploma in fashion design. I was doing my internship with Manish Malhotra. That's how I got into the industry. It obviously got easier for me to get in because my sister was already a part of the industry. So
Hmm.
things just sort of naturally happened for me. I didn't
Yeah.
really take things as seriously. But yes, I have to say this. Um, when you start off with the best,
Mm.
you don't want to settle after
Yeah,
that. You know,
that's true.
that's probably, So that's probably why I refrained from doing too much work, because I was so not happy with what came my way. And from going from a Yash Raj film where everything was, all taken care of, organized. They were so organized with everything, to get into um, doing films that where production houses were so bloody disorganized. It was very difficult.
Mm.
And so I took my time, and unfortunately, because of that, I think I had some very long gaps between my releases. Then I started to miss being a part of films.
Mm.
I think it was Zehar that sort of was a wake up call for me, because when I did that film, I discovered so much about myself as a person, as an actor, that I yearned to do more work. I wanted more work. I felt like there was so much inside that I needed to bring out. Um, but anyway, I didn't want to be a part of something that didn't make me happy, so I took my time again. And hopefully now, with the web space, giving so many actors out there a chance to do some good work and a lot more work. Hopefully I will do a lot more work in the coming year.
Yes, exactly. And I think like you mentioned as well, you've witnessed the lows as well as the highs. So what kind of kept you motivated during the periods when perhaps things were dry, or when things perhaps weren't meeting to your expectations?
I have to say, and I'm so grateful that this naturally happened in my life. Every time I was not seen on screen, I was always busy doing something, whether
Yeah,
it was interiors, or reality TV. There was always something or the other happening in my life. And so it's not like I was sitting at home with no work. I
right.
probably didn't need to. I'm not somebody who likes to talk about every single thing that I do, but I was content in the space I was in. And as long as I'm happy and I'm growing as a human being, I'm learning, I'm moving ahead in my life, I'm fine. If I
Yeah,
feel I'm stagnating in some way,
yeah.
then I have an issue with that.
Hmm.
So even through my reality shows, there was a lot I learned. There was a lot I learned about myself, my personality. They made me stronger as a person.
Hmm.
So I can't complain about them. And things sort of naturally happened in my life. In my life, I've realized the more I plan, things go wrong. Things naturally happen in my life at the right time. So I'm very content.
Yes. In fact, I was also going to mention as well, I know you kind of said this as well, but when you were starting out, I think because of the fact that you are Shilpa Shetty's sister, and at the time, because you were fresh on the block with Mohabbatein, which was like this really awaited film after like what 5 years, Aditya Chopra was making a movie. There was a lot of I think
Yeah.
expectations as well to do with the fact that obviously because your sister began with a film with Shah Rukh Khan as well in Bazigar and stuff, so she also had like a very
Yes.
big awaited kind of film. So how difficult was it to kind of break free from sort of being Shilpa Shetty's sister and kind of like making your own identity? Was it quite a challenge?
Um, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't, because unfortunately, people naturally make comparisons. Unfortunately, people tend to have their own expectations of you. um, I never understood all this when I got into the industry. I never thought I would have to face all this. I wasn't prepared for it. um, but and it's very, very tough. um, and I don't think people out there understand that. They think it's very, very easy when you have a sibling in the industry, or um, a father or a mother in the industry. uh, your journey is not all hunky dory. There's a lot that you have to go through as well. There's a lot of pressure. And yes, initially the comparisons were very difficult for me, but then I just learned to live with it, you know. It doesn't affect me anymore because I know Shilpa and I are so different from each other. What she can do, I can't. What I can do, she can't. I just think it's so silly for people to even make that comparison, you know. How can you compare to individuals, to people? But anyway, that's just the world we live in, and I don't get bothered by all this anymore. You know, just do your bit and move on in life.
Yeah, exactly. So on a final note, television, especially reality television, like you've done like the biggest shows. You've done Khatro, I believe. You've done Jhalak Dikhla Ja. You've done Big Boss, which was quite a very
Yeah.
big surprise actually when we saw you in the Big Boss house actually. Because I think your sister had come
Yeah.
on, I think Big Brother, I think just a year earlier, I think.
Big Brother, yeah.
Which was
She won.
yes, I mean that's a different conversation we can have some other time. But yes, you know, the fact that it's obviously played a big major role in your career, especially television has. What did you gain from your stint on TV, and how do you think exploring the OTT and digital space can be beneficial to you as an actor at this stage in life?
So wow. The reality shows I did were just personally, I grew so much. There was so much I discovered about myself, my own strengths, my own limitations. I mean, that would be a whole new conversation to have with you, you know.
Yes.
But I thoroughly enjoyed those shows. Jhalak, I love dancing, so I enjoyed every minute of it. My bones, my muscles, I was injuring myself every single day. I broke my nose, for heaven's sake, you know. So
Wow.
I still enjoyed that journey because you actually discover so much more about yourself when you are thrown in such difficult situations and you have to make decisions for yourself that would affect somebody else as well, in this case your partner, you know. Khatron Ke Khiladi, I don't know what I was thinking. It I seriously, I mean, given a choice now, I would not choose to go on that show. But even Big Boss, for that matter, you know, I didn't know what I was getting myself into till that door didn't shut behind me. I said yes to Big Boss 1 week before the show. I kept saying no to them. So, and that is me as a person. I'm somebody who will just go with my instincts at that time. I feel I need to do it, I will do it, you know. And I've only gained from these. But as far as the OTT platform is concerned, like I said, I think we're living at a time when, you know, there's so much content being put out there. There's so many films that are being made now, series that are being made. It's giving a lot more opportunities to actors out there. And it's not just about you being a big face. You know, emphasis is given here on talent, which is really, really good. So I think it's a great time to be working on the web platform.
Yes, definitely. And I think we're looking forward to seeing more from you as well, Shamita, as well. But on that note, I had so much more to talk to you about, but unfortunately time has kind of ended. But I definitely would love to kind of catch up with you again sometime soon, Shamita, and sort of carry on this conversation. But wishing you all the very best for 2021. Wishing you a happy new year and congratulations once again on Black Widow.
You too. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.